Our next presenter is Ms. Viola Llewellyn, Chief Operating Officer of Ovamba Solutions. Ovamba was created to address the two issues: solving the problem of restricted access to affordable credit for the small and medium enterprises sector for Africa, and connected to the Diaspora, their home country, by offering the sales of a variety of investment opportunities with good returns. They decided that the best way to address these two issues was to allow a natural market force to prevail and give creditworthiness to businesses. Ms. Viola Llewellyn.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope we're all awake. Thank you for sticking around for us. Thank you to DMA. Thank you to Homestrings. And many thanks to our esteemed ministers from my home country of Cameroon. I'm very glad that you're here to witness a piece of history. So when I say history, it's because I think it is not very often that you will ever hear that there is a different narrative other than the flies-on faces of pot-bellied babies in a nation or a continent of warring factions. That's just not the case. As you've seen here today, there is something else going on. There is some very, very sophisticated business to be done, and it's an honor to be amongst everybody today, so thank you for your attention. Ovamba is a peer-to-peer investment platform. You've heard this being mentioned today a number of times. What this means is that the sharing economy, which is ancient to African culture, has now become technology-driven. And as a US-based, Cameroonian-oriented company, we've taken advantage of the Jobs Act and some of these ancient habits and brought them together onto a financial platform. I am the co-founder of this. My business partner, Marvin Cole, could not be here today, but some of our team are here. We knew that with every business opportunity that we failed at in the past, that the main reason that we were not able to succeed in Africa is because it's not really the sort of environment that you can take fully Western solutions and apply and think that it will work. Africa is a debt-driven economy with a low default rate. It is an environment where individuals are geared towards entrepreneurism in a very natural way. We decided that addressing the issue of access to capital should be pursued forthwith. So what we did is, and via the Homestrings platform in this particular case, our company matches lenders to borrowers on a platform. What this means is that our sales team goes out and markets our loan facilitating skills. Borrowers are underwritten using an online platform that has embedded psychoanalytics into it so that we can derive data that can be used for the development of a secondary marketplace. The lenders come from high net worth individuals, other banking partners, the diaspora, of course, institutional investors, and insurance companies. That's our team. Some of them are here today. Our backgrounds are varied. I myself, born in the UK, Cameroonian parents, previously with Unisys and Rothschild, and we have an esteemed group of advisors as well who come from some of the most esteemed backgrounds in banking otherwise that you could find. We created the technology ourselves, taking the very best benchmarks that we could find from the microfinance institution and the best investment and consulting environments. Now, as you can see, everybody's seen the statistics themselves. 80% of Africa's small businesses are underserved or unserved. This huge gap represents an opportunity for investors in this room today. I'm not talking specifically about investment in Ovamba, the company, although that's a discussion we can have separately, but we're really talking about the ability to invest in the fact that most small businesses can find it very difficult to scale up and stay small. And they don't get to be medium, and they certainly don't get to be continental champions. At $368 billion of a gap, this means that companies like Ovamba and some of our other ilk can take these loans, underwrite them, put them in places that most of the globe can reach to, and invest in them, and the returns are amazing. As I mentioned before, we're a debt-driven society, and the SME space drives retail, wholesale, consumables, and this is something that is especially driven by the returning middle class and the diaspora, who are looking for goods, products, and services that can match the lifestyle that they choose to attain. Now, although I'm on an agricultural panel here, important to note that most of what goes on in Africa has some direct or indirect relationship to agriculture. In the case of Ovamba, we tend to break into the value chain of specific industries such as agriculture. What this means is that in a place where you may not have enough data to assess whether or not a loan is good, we're able to take the relationship and the invoice behaviors of some of our lenders based on their relationships with multinationals and aggregate that data as part of the credit underwriting. We have a number of ways in which we work with our loans. The Trade Finance for Market Traders is one of them. We're based in Douala, which is the CMAC gateway, through a port that leads to 5 or 6 other countries with a shared currency, the XAF, the CFA. And by operating in Douala, which is where our pilot launch is, we felt that Cameroon was the perfect business petri dish for the entire continent. It's not called Africa in miniature for no reason. We're talking about an environment which is French and English, with French and English laws, Muslims and Christians working very peacefully together, regardless of what you hear about Boko Haram. Don't listen to that. But it is the perfect place for which we were able to work out the best way for these 2 different types of loans to operate. Now, this document is available for us afterwards, but just to help the investor who is considering our model to evaluate whether or not this is something that can be done, we are operating on a shared risk basis with our microfinance institutions, and with the lender partners that I mentioned before, we co-lend into a specific structure such as this, and the flows of capital go in, and the flows of capital, including interest rates, come back out and are distributed by our platform, which is calibrated to be able to fractionalize the sale of these loans. And we're able to do this with individuals from in and out of the United States. In fact, we are a Reg D and Reg S offering. As I said, I'll make this available afterwards. I have about 1 more minute to talk to you. Our lenders, our borrowers are in the Douala area. They're wholesalers, they're retailers, they're shipping agents, freight forwarders. They usually need loans for about 3 months. They usually go to very expensive forms of investment from their Njangi or tontine groups, which are informal groups, or they will go to their microfinance institutions who take a very long time to approve them. By the time they've had an approval from their bank, their goods have been sitting in the port and have been racking up a fee from anywhere from 1 week to sometimes as much as 3 months to come to a company like an Ovamba who can authorize the loan within a short period of time. They get to save money on this very fast and robust shipping activity, and they therefore find us to be a much better alternative due to our speed of underwriting and approvals. So in short, we're looking for individuals who are interested in lending across our platform. Loans can be anything from $2,000 to $15,000 during this pilot phase, with the ability to extend that much higher. The notes are underwritten in such a way that the interest rates can vary, and I'd be happy to discuss that in private. The minimum beginning point for us to invest across the Homestrings platform, we're looking at, I'd say, about $50,000 for an institutional investor, or we can discuss $5,000 tranches. And this is just the model that justifies the way our business model operates in comparison to other platforms. Both qualitative and quantitative information is measured into our risk model, the psychographic modeling, which I mentioned, and of course the social community vetting, which means we're pulling information from websites and from these informal groups. So thank you for letting me chat to you. I know it was a very brief overview. I'm available to chat. Some of our advisors and our business colleagues are here as well, and we're interested in speaking to anybody who wishes to invest on the lending platform, or if you want to speak to us about a debt position in the company, we're available. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.